If you're a property investor, 2022 was a really challenging time to find deals, let's be really honest, with record highs achieved in almost every category of sale. And so in today's video, I thought we could check out how to invest in property in 2023 because I honestly think everything is about to change. Hi, my name's Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and my channel's all about helping you get to property investment number 4 as quickly and as painlessly as possible. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So I'm going to be really honest and say I'm always worried about giving predictions at this time of the year because, to be truthful with you, I've got it wrong before, as have many other property investors. But I've done tons of research on this one and I'm really quite confident about some of my predictions. However, out there in the market, opinions do differ on what's going to be happening. So then let me just come straight out and say that my gut feeling is that we're going to be looking at a drop in general in house prices of around about 5 to 10% in the coming year, but no more than that. In fact, Lloyd's predict an 8.8% drop in 2023, a 2.3% drop in 2024, and only coming back to a gain as we shift into 2025. But there's no guarantees. There's lots of moving parts here, and of course things may actually pan out to be very different. However, I am very confident that we won't see a huge drop in house prices like we did, for example, in 2008. I know a lot of people are predicting that, but I just don't think that is going to be happening. But any drop is going to be massively dependent on the location of the properties that you're looking at or the investment area that you're looking at. Obviously, areas with the greater level of demand, well, they're going to be dropping far less, pretty obviously. So why do I think that, generally speaking, there's going to be a drop in house prices? Well, the big drivers, of course, are going to include interest rates. At the time of filming the Bank of England base rate is at 3.5%, and obviously that shifted up really quickly, didn't it? And with it, it dragged mortgages up very, very quickly as well. My prediction is, though, that interest rates will continue to rise, probably, and start to drop back off at the back end of this year. And my mortgage broker, who is hugely experienced, absolutely agrees and concurs with that. But any new deals that you're looking at today, I honestly think you should be ensuring that they still stack up if, in the unlikely event, interest rates were to hit 6%. You've got to kind of make sure that they still stack up at that level. Also, one of the other challenges is that there's going to be more stringent checks when it comes to lenders. Lenders are being far more selective about who they're actually going to lend out to. Naturally, we've got inflation that's currently running at 11%. So there's a big and understandable concern over affordability. And obviously that goes hand in hand with all the additional bills that people are facing. First-time buyers are also holding back right now because they've heard all this talk about dropping house prices, and so they don't necessarily want to jump in right now. And you know what? My daughter is one of those people. She's kind of holding back and waiting to see if there is indeed going to be a drop in house prices. There's obviously worries over job security and just a general level of negative sentiment out there in the property market right now after a ridiculously mad year, or indeed maybe even 2 years in 2021 and 2022. So what about property investors and landlords? What kinds of impact is all this having on them, and what should they be sort of focusing on as the year moves forwards? Well, generally speaking, there's more pressure on landlords. There's certainly more pressure on investors. But many landlords have actually now thrown the towel in, which is really, really sad. I'm fortunate to know an awful lot of property investors that I've kind of built up connections with over the years, and I've been really quite surprised how many of them have said, no, I've had enough, it's just too much hassle, I'm getting out of this market. There's also rising costs, mortgage payments being the big one naturally, things like individual banding on HMO rooms, for example, which is obviously coming in across the country right now, additional legislation, etc., etc. However, rents are high right at the moment. I mean, really high, and they're going to continue to rise. This is obviously a supply and demand type thing. In fact, as purchases go down, rental demand goes up. And obviously the greater demand, the higher the rents you're going to be able to charge. On this note, can I strongly encourage you, if you have any existing investment properties, to right now, literally today, go and check the market rents for your property type. You might be quite shocked, if you haven't checked this for some time, to find that rents generally have gone right up. And so you need to actually look if you need to adjust the rent that you're charging for that property. I've just gone through this whole exercise and I have actually found that 3 of my properties were really quite substantially below where they should be. So I've had to reach out to the owners of those properties, and sadly, I've had to say, look, my costs have gone up. I'm really sorry, but the actual rent I've got to charge you is going up as well. But I've tried to be as fair as I can be. I haven't brought the price right up to the market rate. I've still given a reasonable discount off as a kind of gesture of goodwill. But of course, the good news is we've now shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And so moving forwards into 2023, you have just got to think long term. With any property that you're looking at, you've got to think long term. If there is a bit of a slight dip in the market at the back end of this year, does it really matter if you're investing for the next 10, 15, 20 years? Can I strongly suggest no, it doesn't. But I do think you've got to be really choosy with every property that you look at now. You don't want to become what I refer to as a motivated buyer, somebody with cash in the bank that just wants to jump in right now. Be really choosy. Look for those properties where you can get a genuinely good discount, sizable discount, or more importantly, in my opinion, places where you can add massive value so you can put your money in and then pull it all back out again really, really quickly. And there's one final thing on that. I think you should be very skeptical when it comes to deal sources. Don't get me wrong, there are some really good deal sources out there, but you know what? I've seen some of the deals, in inverted commas, that deal sources have been putting in front of my coachees. And do you know what? When you look at them, many of these just don't stack up. The property's already on the market, or there's one down the road that you could buy literally today, and maybe, it's at the same price that the deal sourcer is putting a property in front of you. So be really skeptical. Do your own due diligence on any properties that deal sources put in front of you. 2023 could be an absolutely amazing time to build your property portfolio. There are definitely going to be opportunities out there this year that were not available over the last couple of years. You've just got to be very selective about the deals that you look at. And one final thing, version 4 of my online property masterclass is nearly ready. I've been polishing off the edges, and so if you'd like to know when it becomes available, click on the link and you'll be the first person I send an email out to, and you can check it out and see if that program might be right for you.